All right, that's an interesting device. Okay, again, unknown power plug. So 12, I don't even know what device is, but no power plug. It looks like, yep, just the protective cover. Okay, nice. Okay, SanDisk 2 GB. Okay, let's see. I think that's the media player. SanDisk, and there's a model number which is E250. 2 GB. All right. As far as I know, those kinds of, well, actually all kinds of media players, the standalone media players that are not smartphone based, usually have third-party firmware, like like RockBox, something like that, RockBox, Rockfish, I don't remember. So we'll see. And actually, what about the external battery? Yeah, we can unscrew the case, so these are just screws, and see what's the battery inside. But for now, it remains untested. All right, so this is one of the other devices that are not phones or smartphones in the eBay38 project, and this is a media player. So that's made by SanDisk. It's E200 series, Sansa E200 series, specifically E250 model. The last two digits identify how much memory does it have, storage capacity, which is, this is 2 gig E250. Right, so again, as the original investigation showed, it does not use the standard USB cable, well, one of the variants, as its charging and data transfer cable. So that's where it was. So again, I started with my usual setup of taking the battery out, charging it externally, so that worked, put it back in. The device seems to be working, and that could have been it. So I mean, that would be a useful device, again, for somebody with a cable. I didn't have a cable, but in this particular case, I actually decided to get one, and as you can see, yeah, that's the USB to this proprietary connector cable, and that's, yeah, very proprietary, non-standard one. And the reason for that is because I actually wanted to play with the different firmware. So there's, if you're not familiar, alternative firmware for a variety of media players called RockBox. It's great. It's free, open source, and runs on a variety of devices. And has a lot of features and is being actively developed, so it's great. And this device is compatible with that, so I figured I actually try to install that. And for that, obviously, I needed a cable, and I could pick it up cheap, so I did. Maybe I'll see some of these similar devices in the future, so not waste it. Right, I did connect it. So again, the charging works obviously with that cable. The data connection works. So I was able to update the firmware to RockBox, and I'll probably put a video, well, a short video, it's not overly complicated, about this right about here. All right, so now we're going to install the RockBox firmware. So SanDisk Sansa E250. This is the installation utility, RockBox. I think that's what it's called, RockBox utility. And the device is connected, so if it doesn't detected automatically, then you select the drive that's mounted at, click out to detect, and in most cases, yeah, as you can see, it detected that Sansa E200 version 1, and that's what we have here. It's Sansa 250, and the last two digits here indicate actually the amount of memory on board. It's like E200 series. So we'll select that. Then we need to select which release. We'll choose stable. We don't need to go the bleeding edge here, and we'll install everything. So bootloader needed, RockBox needed, fonts, nice to have. Themes, there are tons of different themes. You can see here. And I mean, we have space there. So why don't we install all of them? So yeah, we have 133 themes, and they only take about 10 megabytes of memory, so that's fine. Select that, plugin data, sure, voice file, fine. Manual, so let's install everything and just click install. And that's right, so we are in progress. Installed bootloader, so got the firmware downloaded. It's getting extracted and will be flashed in a few moments. Right, so fonts. It's more fonts than I thought, but okay, that's fine. Alright, what else do we have? Right, now we're getting all the themes. Okay, well, that might take a while. So it seems like the themes are downloaded individually rather than as a package. So yeah, we selected 133, I think. So yeah, okay, let's wait a little bit. Obviously, you don't need to download all of them. If you know which theme you like, if you care about this at all, then you can just select those. All right, and we are done. So everything's downloaded, everything installed. This installed successfully, and that's that. Now the device is going to reboot, and we should be able to select either original firmware or the new and improved RockBox. So see you then. Right. So with the firmware updated, let's take a closer look. And again, the nice thing about this firmware is that you can actually boot into the original firmware. It's still there and it's still available. Well, right now it's actually, I need to switch it off. If we turn it on. And you're just holding a button combination for a couple of seconds. And now it's booting into, yep, now we are in the original firmware, which looks something like that. Let's see if we can, yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but it's pretty old. Obviously haven't been updated in many years, and has some limited support for certain things, which may or may not be important to you. But anyway, so again, if you want to use the original firmware, it's right here. So let's reboot and not press anything. And this way we're gonna boot into the RockBox. As you can see, yep, RockBox right there. Again, these things boot up quick. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff here. Again, that's not a video about a RockBox. There are tons of themes that you can use to skin it up the way you want. Like, well, this one. Yeah, I have this one. But there are tons of different ones. But there's a, yeah, this device supports FM radio, headphones. It's actually quite nice device. So again, like you can do pictures, you can obviously listen to your music or podcast or audiobooks, I can use to listen to FM radio. I think there's some video capabilities. And you can also do some other stuff like, let me show you. There's a plugins, and there's some games and some other things. And of course, everybody's question would be, can it run Doom? Well, let's check that out. Oh, it's happening. It is happening. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that is actually Doom. Okay, so we need to select difficulty level, whatever. Oh, it actually is working. Holy cow, look at that. Okay. I'm getting wrecked here. Not bad. And again, that's not supposed to be a video about Doom. But, and here I'm dead. But it can run it. That's unbelievable. I do remember Doom back in the day. It was supposed to be, you know, high-end, top-of-the-line game with 3D. And guess what? Now you can run it on your media player. It actually worked pretty decently, I must say. And I'm gonna quit. Yep, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff in here, other games. I didn't check them out because, again, come on, if it can run Doom, it can do anything, obviously. So yeah, so that's the device, and again, as you can see, I'm not plugged into the cable, so the battery seems to be fine, at least for, I don't know for how long, but it is working. So again, another device which is in perfectly good shape. And actually try it with the headphones. The sound quality is pretty nice. So again, why would you want to use this device like that when most of the things what I just showed can be run on a smartphone? Well, actually for several reasons. One is it's much smaller than a regular smartphone. Well, nowadays at least. It's much cheaper than a regular smartphone, even if it's new. Never mind used ones. It's probably less fragile than your regular smartphone. And it has tactile, as in like physical buttons, inputs. Well, limited ones, obviously, but that's all you need if you want to play music, then you're, you know, exercising, doing some sports activities, outdoors, or things like that. So I think there is a place for devices like that. Especially for compact ones and relatively powerful ones, and with a good battery life, which may or may not be the case here. So I'm quite pleased for that device, which was effectively, as I mentioned before, cost me about $1 if we take average over all devices. So I'd say that's a great value. And with that, I'll see you in the next episodes. See you then.